Hello! I'm EnterElysium and welcome back, of course, to Aurora 4X, the Dwarf Fortress of Space games. It's tough to get into, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So, we've done our setup. We have our solar system. We have all our industry. I think today we need to start at least working towards having a look around the solar system and actually surveying things. Now, to do that, we're going to need a ship. We're started on the research. We've got it lined up, so let's do auto turn in 30 days. That way it'll do 30-day jumps, so you notice it goes 1st of February, 1st of March, 1st of April. Thorium shortage in fuel production on Earth. That's to be expected, because right now we don't actually have much being mined. Someone joined the officer corps and someone had a medical problem. Okay. We are going to pop over to industry, and you'll notice that we have fuel. Industry is actually, that's including conventional industry. We've got no refineries, but we are making some. I'm actually going to stop fuel production, just to stop that message happening. Another thing we can do, and that we probably should do, is we should assign a governor to Earth. So, up here we have our allied Commonwealth Elysia, that's our empire. We're going to pop down to civilian administrators, and we have governor of Earth, an A3 position. A3 is basically the rank. It means administrator 3. So we need someone of 3 or higher. So let's have a look. Who do we have? We've got Toby Allen, who has a mining bonus of 30. That's nice, but we need factories. We need construction. Factory bonus of 5%. Do we really have no one? Oh, you're an A2. 15% bonus is really nice. 50% minusing is also really good. 50% wealth creation. Yeah, I really want to assign you, but you're an A2, which means that you actually are not a high enough rank. So I'm going to promote you. So we've got a mining bonus of 15%, a shipbuilding bonus of 20%, and a factory production bonus of 15%. David Goodwin. We're going to assign you to Earth. There we go. 2020, promoted to civilian administrator. April 2020, assigned to governor of Earth. There we go. So, with the shipbuilding of 20%, that's going to be very helpful. Our ships will get built quicker. Factory production bonus, 15% extra production. Great. Mining is 15 as well. Very nice. So, with you in charge, we'll be a lot better off. We completed research into geological survey sensors. Excellent. I don't believe we can do any more. Improved geological. That's 10,000 research points. We're definitely not doing that right now. Yeah, with that, we've got 10 available labs. Probably all going to put them on the pressurized water reactor. And that'll be done June. June 9th. We're currently on the 1st of June, so we're actually going to skip forwards using 5-day increments. There we go. Got the 11th. Remember, it was done on the 9th, but because we're going forwards quite a long way, it's just like, oh, let's skip the 11th. That means if we pop down to power propulsion, we should see Pebblebed reactor, which is our next reactor tech, and nuclear thermal engine technology. We probably don't want to use nuclear thermal. We probably want to use the one up from that, which is nuclear pulse. If you ever look at this one, it says it unlocks nuclear pulse engines. However, we need both of these to be able to get the next level. So we're actually going to start using nuclear thermal. By using, I mean just researching and forgetting about. We don't have a matching scientist, so we're just going to use construction production person for the 25% bonus and have 25 labs. You'll be done in November. Sure. Let's get forward some time. Someone join Officer Corps. Don't really care about. A team on Earth led by Nathan Chandler has completed research into nuclear thermal engine technology. Excellent. immediately work on the next one as well. So do Pebble Bed. We'll start research into that. That'll be done on May. All the things are lovely, moving around. That's great. We completed our Pebble Bed reactor. We're already up to the length of May 2021, so time's going pretty fast right now. And now we should have nuclear pulse engine. This is going to be 5,000 research points. So it's getting up there quickly. Now remember, we don't actually have a matching person. Our matching power propulsion person only can have 5 labs, which means they're not going to be assigned to anything until they learn to be better. Nonetheless, we'll carry on. Let's also have a look at our industry. Yeah, notice that our industry has brought down the time it's going to take to convert these massively. I think you were saying you'd be done in 2055. You shaved 15 years off because we've actually converted 45 almost conventional industry construction factories. So yeah, that's helping a lot. They should be done probably within the decade. October, November, December, January. Brigadier, Officer Corps, there we go, nuclear pulse engine. So we have our next level of engine technology. The question is, do we want to hold out for iron engines? We need to get gas-cooled fast reactor, and then we need to get the iron engine after that. We already know we need jump point theory to be able to unlock gravitational survey sensors, which will allow us to then look at jump points and then be like, oh, should I jump through here? We could hold out a little bit longer, try and get gravitational sensors and a jump drive and iron engines, or we could just go now and create an early prototype. Now, if you look here, our construction production person actually has a bonus of 35%, which is pretty good. It's not like good in terms of late game, but in terms of early game, that's a pretty good bonus. Sadly, you can still only handle 5 research labs, because you are awful. I'm actually going to take a quick opinion from Twitch chat, because of course we are recording these live. I'm going to see what Twitch chat's opinion is. Should we hold out for iron engines and a jump drive before building an actual ship, or should we just get a ship out immediately without a jump drive, without iron engines, and then have to build a second version of that ship? Because of course without a jump drive you can't go through any jump points. You need to wait until someone puts, say, a jump gate on it. That's going to be a lot further down the line. That's one of the decisions you have to make. A lot of the time in this game you'll be like, oh, if I hold off a little bit longer I'll have better tech, or if I hold off a little bit longer I'll have better tech. But at that point, you're never going to get anything built. So I'm gonna actually pause the recording. I'll take a quick opinion from Twitch chat. I'll be back in a second. And of course, the Twitch poll was 50-50. Luckily, my mod, Mighty Rick, hadn't voted, so Rick threw the deciding vote since he hadn't voted. And we're going to build a ship early, which means that we are not going to wait for the next level of reactor tech, so we need to do jump point theory now. So I'm going to cancel the tech, which will bring it back to here. We're halfway done with it. We will then get you to work on it with all 30 labs. It'll be done in 30 days' time. Oh, no, sorry, not March. It's going to be done in 3 months' time. That's fine. Okay. And I think we're good to go forward in time. So join the Naval Corps. That's lovely. We completed research into jump point theory, which I believe means that we only need one more, which is going to be sensors and fire control, gravitational survey sensor, 2,000 points. Allows the ship to survey for jump points by visiting survey locations, provides 1 survey point per hour. Bam, bam, bam. That'll take you till the 9th of September. And there we go. We're done. I don't think there's any other tech we need. We have ourselves an engine. We have ourselves gravitational sensors and survey sensors. It's not going to be a great ship. It's going to be a pretty ham-fisted ship. But it will be a ship that will do the things it's meant to do. It's not going to be great, but it's going to suffice. So, let's bring up the class design. So this allows you to create new ships. Now, you'll notice that we've got no class, no type, no hull, because we don't have a ship, and we don't actually have any existing ships. So we're going to hit New. Bam! It's named it the Tribal, which is because we use the UK naming list. We're going to override that. Its type is a ship, and its hull is a cruiser. We're actually going to change that straight away to a science vessel. So you've got a whole load of different things here, like salvager, scout, scout base, scout carrier, scout cruiser. We're a science vessel, which is SV for short, so this will be referred to as SV, ship name 001. I think we're going to need to name it, and to do that, we're going to bring up the name list. So, exploration geograv ship. Individual names, yes, which means that each ship gets an individual name. And they are named after scientists. So you are... rename the Curie class. There we go. The Curie class science vessel. Currently weighing in at 255 tons, because if we look in the design view, we start with conventional armor. You always start with one layer. That's basically like tinfoil. You can have more armor if you want to actually arm your ship. We're not gonna... This is a science vessel. If it gets shot at, it's already dead. We have a fuel storage, we have an engineering space, we have a bridge. We also have some crew quarters. We're not going to touch crew quarters. It will automatically add crew quarters to cover the amount of people in the ship. You can change that if you need to for whatever reason, but we're just going to leave that as default. What we need is we need a geological survey sensor here, which you'll notice says size 5. That's a lie. And by a lie, I mean that is just confusing. This is 5 HS, hull size. Like ton is a unit of measurement, hull size is also a unit of measurement, which I don't know why you need to learn. The game basically says, here's an extra unit for some reason. I'm going to just hit size in tons up here, and suddenly this makes sense. This is 250 metric tons. We're going to add one of those. We're going to add one gravitational sensor. We're nearly 1,000 tons now. That's all good. We're going to want to put on extra fuel storage, probably, but we're also desperately going to need an engine. I believe that's the main focus here. Okay, so we need an engine. Now, one thing that I'm going to do very quick is I'm going to put this over here, and then I am going to make this smaller, bring it to this corner, and then boop. And you'll notice I've left a little slither here. The reason I've left a little slither here is so that I can click on that, then click on that, then click on that, then click on that, without having to go to my taskbar and bring up, and then click through all the windows of Aurora, which look very similar. This allows me to basically tab my game. So we're going to put you here. What we need to do is we need to go to Design Tech. Yes, ignore that for the moment. It's basically saying you haven't got the tech for active sensors. We want to go to Engine, and we're going to build ourselves an engine. So, engine technology. This will be the best you've got. This is nuclear pulse engine. We're going to leave it at that. We don't want to use conventional engines because 1 EP for the same size engine. 25 EP, 40. There's a reason we're not using conventional engines. Look at that. 1 EP, 25 EP, 40 EP. Oh, God. Yeah. Nuclear pulse engines it is. Engine power, again, this is a useful one. We'll get onto that in a second. This is what I want to talk about. Fuel consumption. This will always be the best you've got. This is effectively your fuel efficiency. There's no reason that you ever need to change this. If we had 0.9, it means that for the same amount of effort we do, we only need 90% fuel. If we had 0.8, 80% fuel. We'd actually have an improvement here, so that's going to be normal. Thermal signature reduction. This means that you can add like baffling and cooling and special coatings and stuff to try and make your thermal signature smaller so that you can try and stealth. We don't have this, and also it's expensive. We don't want to add it to a survey ship. And then engine size. So the bigger your engine, the more push you get. So for now, we're a 5 hull size. I'm going to show in tons. So this is a 250 ton engine. We get 40 EP. That's engine power. If we, say, increased it to 10, you'll notice that we're now 80 EP. But we also get a bonus of minus 10% fuel consumption because it's more efficient. The bigger you make it, the more efficient you can make it. The other thing that we've got to play with is up here. Power efficiency modifier. Currently, we are 100% power and 100% fuel efficiency. Fuel consumption. If we go down to half engine power, our fuel consumption can go down to 18%. Because it's basically, I think it's based on a square. Yeah, it's a square root or something. So if we go down to engine power 50%, we only use 18% of the fuel. We'll want to do that. Our ship is going to not need to get anywhere super fast. It's not a military ship. It's actually a military ship. We'll come to that in a second. It's not an actual naval ship. It doesn't need to fight. It doesn't need to chase people. It just needs to get to a planet, do a survey, get to an asteroid, do a survey, get to a jump point, do a survey. So this is fine. We're going to need to just conserve fuel because we're going to need to go around a long way. Engine size, as big as we can really get. So if we go for, say, 32... that gives us a size of 1,600 tons. Now, the big limiting factor here, and I'm going to tap this by putting it over here, is our shipyard. The Everest Naval Shipyard is 3,000 tons capacity. We can't build a ship bigger than that. We do have commercial shipyards that can. This is a military vessel. We'll get into that in a second. But the limiting factor at the moment is we need to be able to build a shipyard. That's going to be 3,000 tons. So, with our ship already weighing in at almost 1,000 tons, we can't really have an engine bigger than this. You might say, well, why don't you go to 2,000 tons? The reason is that we'll also need to add stuff like people, crew quarters, etc. to be able to maintain this engine. So this engine is going to weigh this much, but it will then have extra stuff in terms of people. I think we're probably good on this. I won't want to make it much bigger. Like, we could maybe go to, like, 34 hull size. Yeah. And we'll name you... You can name your engines, and you could have, like, your Falcon line of engines and your Raptor line of radars or whatever. Probably should be the other way around. Either way, we're not going to... Just because I will get very confused, so I'm actually going to use a shorthand for nearly every tech I make in the game. So you are going to be the... 136 EP, so it tells me the power. C, which is commercial. This is a commercial engine. Commercial engines, I believe, have to be 50% engine power or less. And they need to be bigger than 25 hull size. If we were to change this to 24 hull size, it becomes military. If we change the engine power, yeah, above 50%, it becomes military again. Some engines are classed as military and can only be put on military ships, or will force a ship to be military. If you have a military component on a ship, that ship is considered military, which is one of the reasons that right now our survey ship is considered military. It's because a gravitational sensor is actually a military component. We'll talk about that in a second. So we are going to have our 136 EP commercial NPE, so nuclear pulse engine, and we need to know that you're 1.7 kilotons in weight, and I need to know the fuel consumption. This is a really important one. Fuel consumption is very important. So I want to know that you are 15.9 liters per hour. Okay. And we are going to instant this, but I won't instant this. The reason is normally you create a technology and you hit create. This allows you to then research that technology. So, you know, you create yourself an engine, you design the possibility, the design schematics, but you haven't tested it, you haven't checked it will work, you haven't fixed the bugs. Like, right now, in real life, we know railguns work. We have the technology for railguns, but we haven't actually made them properly, fully viable in terms of we can slap them on everything. We've put them on like a ship or two to test them. We're doing the design phase, the actual practicality design phase right now. We're actually being like, right, can we actually make these? Can we make them viable? But we don't have them everywhere. This is effectively what you do here. If we hit create, in future I'm going to hit instant, but I'll talk about that in a sec. I keep saying that. There's a lot of things to talk about in this game. If we hit create, and then close this, we can go to our research screen, and it was an engine, so it'll be power propulsion. You'll notice that we can now research it. It'll cost us 340 RPs to research. Effectively, we know the technology behind the engine. We know it's a viable engine, but that's in heads think space. We know the technology behind the engine. We know how to explode nukes and make ourselves a nuclear pulse engine. We don't actually have an engine. And this is us basically taking that idea and turning it into an engine. And you need to do this for every single engine. You need to do the same thing for, say, every gun or every sensor. Because, of course, you're turning that theory into practice. You're going through the design phase, practicality stage, to the point where you can just start effectively mass-producing them. I can assign a person to do this. I can assign someone to do the research. And we can then skip forwards in time, and we, how long will it take? Like, if we put you on there and 5 labs, whatever. You do it relatively quick because it's only 340. But I'm not going to do it. I'm in fact going to instant all text. The reason being is that, firstly, I find it a little bit tedious, especially when you've got a lot of people set up to do some important research tasks, and then you have to take labs away from them to do this very minimal RP project that's going to be done very quickly. Then you've got to accelerate time a little bit and then go back to designing your ship. It takes you out of the design ship process and has you accelerate time to then go back to the design ship process. I see what they're getting at. One of the things that this forces you to do is it forces you to make engines discrete increments. You can't just constantly tweak with your engine because you need to research it again. And that's really cool and does force you to work in a certain way. But it's kind of annoying. I might consider it if I was doing an offline game, but since I'm playing online and I want to deal with that going back and forth, etc., which would be annoying, especially to view, I'm not going to bother, and I'm just going to hit instant. I'm going to instant that technology. Which means that we now have an engine listed here, which we can add to our ship. And suddenly, look, we have a speed! This is glorious. We have a speed. Now, there's a few more things we need to do. Firstly, we only have a deployment time of 3. That's 3 months. So we want to increase that deployment time to probably like 2 years. Note that the thing there went up. If we have an engineering space as well. Basically, deployment time means that we've got rations and stuff on board. Bit of space for people. Our tonnage went up because we've now got more rations on board. The other thing we need to worry about, because we're a military ship, and I'll explain why, it's because of this. We're now a commercial vessel. Gravitational survey sensors are considered military. I don't exactly know why. I understand that surveying to get into other places can be dangerous. But for whatever reason, they are considered military, which means this vessel will be considered as a military vessel. It will need maintenance and it will need all this jazz that otherwise you don't need. Only military vessels need this. So, currently we have to deal with maintenance life, which is that we have an average failure rate of 69%, which means that every year there's a 69% chance that something will fail and we'll have to repair it. We only have a certain amount of repairs on board, 66 maintenance supply points, whatever they're called, MSP, which means that on average, they will last for about 1.7 years. We can change that by adding an engineering space. Now we're, capable of 3.6 years. But notice what it does to our tonnage. We're now over the tonnage at which that shipyard can manage. Luckily, this is going to be a pretty short-range vessel. It's our very first vessel. It's going to be poodling around the solar system, doing some things. It's not going to be out for all that long. So instead, we can probably bring the deployment time down to match this 1.5 years, maintenance life 1.6 years. That's fine. And you have a fuel of almost half a year. We could up that, add another fuel storage. And then you'll be able to travel for 2/3 of a year. You probably don't even need that. Yeah, because that's almost... Yeah, we'll actually give it the extra fuel storage, just in case. So range of 50 billion kilometers, which is 2/3 a year at full power. 3,000 tons. It has the gravitational and geological sensor, so it will be able to look at planets and tell if there are minerals on them. It will also be able to then go to jump points and be like, is this actually a jump point, or is this just a null point? Like, there's nothing here. Is it just space? Got an engine. That's basically what we need. It's got an engine. It's a ship. Check. Done. This is a Curie class. We're going to close this up. Actually, we're going to lock this before I close it. Just so that I don't accidentally break it. I'm going to close this. And so with that, we're going to go to Shipyard Task. Sorry, Manage Shipyards, Everest, and we are going to retool for selected class the SV Science Vessel Curie. What this means is that the shipyard needs to know how to build the ship. They need certain size parts. They need docking cradles fixed for certain hull sizes and types. They need a special spanner or a proprietary USB port or whatever the hell it is. They need to make the dockyard tooled up and ready to build a certain class, and only a certain class. Or sometimes a very similar class. Now, because you actually tooled up for anything at all, it actually has no class assigned. This will be instant and will cost us nothing. Bam. Assigned class, SV Curie. Normally, this would cost us, and you'll see that there's a completion date. Which is actually today, because it's the exact class we currently are tooled for. But normally there would be a cost associated in duranium and neutronium, and it would take a certain amount of time, depending on how different the class is. So, with that done, we're going to construct the SV Curie. The ship name will be, of course, because it's first of its class, the Curie 001. And it will cost us 200 uridium, 50 duranium, 30 gallicite, 20 macassium, 10 boronite, and 5 cormonite. And you should be done on the 8th of July. It's currently the 11th of September. So, looking at almost a year. Now, before we accelerate time again, and we also want to set up our research, we're going to have a little bit of a play around with our shipyards here. So firstly, the Everest Naval Dockyard. 3,000 tons isn't very much. I mean, this ship is barely getting inside that limit. It's not actually out for very long. It doesn't have a long range. We'll want to increase this capacity. And there are a couple of ways you can do this. So in addition to being able to retool, we can do add capacity or add a slipway. Now, you might just say, oh, you wanted more capacity, add 2,000 tons or something. While this is good from an OCD point of standpoint, that you want, your capacity to be a nice round number, I don't plan ahead very well. And if I do that, and then oh, quick, I need to change something, and I cancel it halfway through, it doesn't add any capacity whatsoever. If you cancel a capacity expansion halfway through the process, you don't get anything. You'll have wasted time and resources. So, in my opinion, I know some people think very differently, never use add a discrete amount. Use continual capacity expansion. That basically says, every tick, I add however long this tick has been. So I will add some tons, and I will add some more tons, and I'll add some more tons. So you cancel it, it's cool, you cancelled it. But you've already added that tonnage. So we're going to do continual capacity expansion. Kilimanjaro, 1,000 tons. We're going to keep you as a 1,000-ton shipyard for naval, because that means you can build FACs, which are fast attack crafts. FACs are 1,000 tons or less, which allows them to do a few things like they don't need a bridge, which saves some tonnage. We'll probably want to get you an extra slipway. It's going to be relatively cheap, especially at this point, so we'll do that. Michigan Shipyard, 10,000 tons. I would like you to get an extra slipway, so we can build extra ships at the same time. And the Nest Shipyard, we will do a continual capacity expansion, because 6,000 tons for a commercial vessel is not that much. So, with that done, we'll go to research. We'll want to allocate our new research. Probably going to go power propulsion and try and get that. So, well, if we're doing our first here, I guess we could go construction production and get the new research rate. 5,000 points increases our research rate quite nicely. Yeah, we'll do that, since you have a specialty here. And we'll do 25 labs. So, reminder that the specialty of 35% means that 4 times if you're working on something of your specialty. Construction production, scientists working on construction production, you're going to be getting us a, 140% bonus? double check that in my head. Yes, that is correct. Excellent. So you are massively speeding up this project. We're also going to constantly want to train up our power propulsion person because they are awful. So I've left 5 labs specifically so that we can go over here. We can go to something quick like the fuel consumption 0.9 liters, which effectively means that instead of consuming 1 fuel, you consume 0.9 for every 1 fuel. It'll save us 10% of our fuel usage. And it's 1,000 research points, so it's relatively quick. And we'll assign you. You'll be done in May. Oh, God. Fine. I just hope you learn to be better than that. And we'll close that up. And start accelerating time. So, we've got a ship being built. We've got research being done. Everything's going relatively okay. We're up to March now. So we've completed our research into research rate. Which should help out a little bit. Is there any other construction production we want to do? Anything that's particularly fast? Not really. Like maybe a shipyard 5% time cost saving. At this point it's not massively important. Mining production is great. Construction rate is also great. I mean, since we've got someone who matches, we'll probably do construction rate. That'll increase our construction rate by 20%. And that'll be done 26th of May. It's currently March. Yeah. Having a 35% bonus on construction production is great. At the beginning of the game, you need construction production and you need power propulsion. We've got one of them. We don't really have the other, let's be honest. So, accelerate time again. We've researched construction, fuel consumption. However, we still don't have what we need, which is you understanding how to use more labs. Work on jump drive efficiency. So, jump drive efficiency is effectively the base tech for jump drives. If you're going to go through a jump point that does not have a jump gate on it, you need a jump drive, or you need someone to go with you who has a jump drive. We need jump drive efficiency 4, and 4 means that 1/4 of your ship is going to be jump drive. If you're trying to jump a 30,000 ton ship, you will need 7,500 tons of that ship to be jump drive. If we have efficiency, say 5, you would need to have 6,000 tons of that ship, because it needs to be a 5th. And if we had a 6th, it would be... oh, God, what's a 6th of 300? It's easy. I don't know why. It's 5,000 tons. I don't know why I paused there. Apparently, 30,000 tons is a really good number to pick. It actually divides quite nicely. So the more efficient, the less space your jump drive will take up. We need that. It's a base tech. So we're going to start queuing that up. And our ship, how long until our ship's built? 80% done. It's going to be built 8th of July. Okay. We did a construction rate bonus. How's that industry doing? Yeah, industry's... it's already reporting it's going to be done within the decade. Yeah, this is going really well. Very quick. And mining is going okay. Now, bear in mind, this is not a lot of minerals. This is enough to get us started. This is not going to last very long. We need to actually start exploring the solar system to get ourselves more minerals. These transnewtonian elements are needed for everything. Especially germanium. It's basically space steel. It's like, yeah, you're already running out of space steel. Great. How much thorium do we have? 3,000. I'll start up the fuel refining again. Construction production. You know what? We're going to go back to power propulsion. I know it's not your specialty, but someone needs to do it. And it's not going to be Joel Hardy. Damn it, Joel. I think I'm going to be saying damn it, Joel a lot in this series. Nathan Chandler, take it away. In March next year. Okay. So, we should get our ship now. Oh yeah! We now have the Curie class built on Earth and assigned to Shipyard Task Group. So, we have our first ship. We've designed it, it is acceptable, and it will be able to move at, I think we said 2,266 kilometers per second. That's pretty reasonable for a ship this many years into the game. So, what we'll do next is we'll get our ship to start exploring the solar system and hopefully find ourselves some good minerals. This is going to be the crunch point. Luna and Mars. The Moon and Mars. Those are the two places that are really easy to colonize, and we want those to have minerals. If they don't, we're going to be in some trouble, as Twitch have seen in a previous playthrough. But that will be next episode. Will we have enough minerals to get us started? Well, we're going to find out. For now, though, I've been EnterElysium. As per usual, do the whole like, subscribe thing, but do let me know down in the comments if you're liking the game, if you're getting into it, if you've got any stumbling points or any questions. I'm sure there'll be some actual vets of Aurora who'll be happy to help out. The community is really nice, and they tend to be very, very helpful, so thoroughly recommend. But yeah, let me know how you're enjoying or liking the game so far. Again, this is kind of a niche game, so it's good to get that feedback. For now, though, I've been EnterElysium. Like, subscribe, and stay shiny.